never wanted to go to bed early. I thought that the greatest ploy that made her gain the last few minutes before she could go to sleep was start asking questions that really had long answers. So she would go, if I go to sleep now, are all the poor people have a place to sleep? And of course, I knew the answer, so I would have to say something like, well, all the people in our neighborhood had a place to sleep. Did they all have something to eat? And again, I would say, nobody in our neighborhood went to bed hungry. Everybody had enough to eat. And this was almost a daily thing.
Hello, I am Richard Waynerty, President of the Texas Medical Center. I want to talk to you today about Nora's home, which is being developed in the Texas Medical Center area for transplant patients and their families. Nora Gaber was always in 100% at whatever she did. A fun-loving little girl, she loved costumes and school plays. She loved art and took her pictures to the street to sell like lemonade. But what stood out most about Nora was her deep connection with people. She got the Best Friend Award at school because she deeply cared about everyone. Popular or not, everyone was Nora's friend.
She always cared for people. She always loved people. She always wanted to be with people. There are so many stories about her showing kindness to others that were just so overwhelming. We lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and the part of the drive to get a shorter cut would go through some part of town which was a little bit poorer, and that really piqued her interest in the poor people. She could tell that there's a difference between the housing, and she would really get very concerned about that, and she'd ask about these people, and she'd actually insist a lot of times if she'd see a poor person or a homeless person on the street to get her mother to turn around the car and try to give him something to help him out. And it was very hard to explain to her.
On a family vacation in Italy, Nora gave away all the money she had for souvenirs to help a homeless woman on the street. On that same vacation, on June the 12th, 1997, Nora's life was cut short in a tragic automobile accident. Nora's friends and family wanted to do something in honor of her extraordinary life and compassion. And in 1998, they started Nora's Life Gift Foundation. In 2001, Nora's home opened in Memphis to provide patients and families what Nora had always hoped for them: a home, food, and someone to care. And it mattered.
The staff were very sweet and caring people, just like family. This would have been a much harder trip if Nora's home wasn't here.
Nora's home has truly been a home away from home for us. We consider it a blessing.
So in 2006, when Lillian and I decided to move our practices to Houston, really the first thing we thought of is, what do we do with Nora's home?
The Texas Medical Center has 6 transplant centers, and it serves thousands of end-stage disease patients annually. At least 20% are from more than 100 miles away. Yet finding housing for these patients and families is a perennial problem.
I had the medical discount, and it was $79 a day. And for 6 weeks, it's so expensive that it just puts another weight on your recovery because you're worried about, how am I going to pay for this?
Well, she had 17 admissions to Methodist, and she had 3 or 4 to Kindred long term. The last 6 months that she was in Methodist, she could not come home because every time we brought her home, she'd go into a coma. I stayed right in the hospital. You cannot believe there's so many people that tried to sleep in the hospital, and I'm sure expenses is the reason. And with us being there so many times, well, it got to be quite expensive, just the parking and the eating. And so I slept on the floor if there wasn't a couch available.
We have many people who come from Louisiana who are transplanted. Their drive to get here is 5 hours, 4 hours. They have to get up at 2 or 3 in the morning to drive here for 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning labs, see the doctor at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then drive back. It is exhausting.
Realizing the need that these people share, many have come together to build Nora's home near the main campus of the Texas Medical Center.
Even though it looks distant now because you still have to build it and fill it, but when there are real people in it, it's an amazing place where people can get love, they can get attention, they can get what they really need during those times of difficulty. So I want everybody to know today that just by being here, just by being around Nora's Foundation, you're helping so many people that actually need the help.
It is my hope that Nora's home will help many people who are coming to the Texas Medical Center for transplant and others who thought they had no hope of coming here for transplant.
It is so needed for people like me that it's hard to wait for it, because I'm so excited because people behind me will have a better place to stay than what I did.
See, her twin has the same problem that Debbie has. And what a relief it would be to think that if Sandra progresses to that far, it won't be an absolute dread.
Throughout Nora's short life, she gave her heart and her soul to help others. And in fact, in death, she gave her heart to literally help others.
Please listen to your heart.
Just listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
So all I would say is listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
I'm now asking you to listen to your heart. And thank you very much for your attention and your concern.